What's up, everyone? How you guys doing today? April 16th. And Amazon decides to come and fuck me. Right? I don't know what I did to Amazon or what did any bears do to Amazon, but for some reason, it is going up. Well, I know why it's going up. Right? It's simply going up because we're in this channel. So it hits a high point, it hits a low point, hits a high point. Let's rip it and go. There's literally nothing else to rotate into. So when it broke out, I think it decided that, obviously that breakout was very well supported. Just give it a little bit for everyone to filter in here. All right, I think we're back here. So I'm hoping that Amazon will retrace some of this and essentially make a shooting star, but looks like it may want to ramp up. We see Nasdaq up here as well. Not too sure what my stream is doing. So if you see anything wonky with my stream, just let me know here. But let me do something. I want to make sure this. All right, it is working. All right, cool, awesome. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get started on here. So 2404, 2400. Essentially, it's a computer generated lines using my clones. My clones are derivatives of the 50% retracement. So we're at 2400 Amazon, and as you see, 2400, 2450. I even up there. Essentially, is the top of this channel, and it's a simple channel. And people may ask, why is Amazon popping? It's because of technicals. There's literally nothing else other than technicals, right? The reason why I've been very angry at the market is because the technicals, which I think are gonna happen, are essentially just bear traps. So I've been getting my legs stuck in a trap this whole time, shorting and stuff. But I know where the price is heading, right? But just from my previous experience, I usually try to short or long right before it hits that 50, right? But for some reason, probably because of FOMO, we're overreaching it, right? So when we dropped, we almost hit that 50% retracement, right? When the equity market fell, we almost hit that 50%. And then when we ramp back up to the 50% of where it initially dropped from, right? We actually went over QQQ, SPY, right? We're over those 50%. And I trade based on the 50. So to me, shorting right before it got up to that 50 was a sensible thing to do, given the circumstances around us fundamentally. But now, unfortunately, the FOMO, I think, with everyone at home, everyone's buying the dip. And I don't think this is short covering or anything like that. Just because, like, I honestly don't believe a short cover will always lead to a sale, but a long can always lead to just like a long buy can lead to a sell too as well. So I don't think that analogy works really well. And when you look at the short volume, it's not like 50% is shorting Amazon right now, and that's why the price is going up, right? So there's a lot of guys that are holding pretty long in Amazon, and that's all it is. I think it's a literally channel to the bottom, right? As soon as we're no two lines make two points make a line, right? So as soon as we hit that bottom back in March, we can essentially make this channel, right? Breakout was right here. It was a previous high. That's simple breakout, and essentially this is a squeeze, and this is an institutional squeeze. I mean, or like a hedge fund squeeze or something. Someone big right there is getting very hurt, and I think that given the day traders and everyone at home, it just essentially made it worse. Usually things run for usually prices run for 3 days or so, but Amazon's been running for a while, and you can see the kind of thing in Netflix as well. And I've read different stories of why Amazon should be trading at this price, or why Amazon should be trading at this price, right? And the simple fact is that who cares, right? Amazon is a company that has very high PE ratio that everyone uses, doesn't make to how much the price is, doesn't make as much profit, right? So you can essentially say this is a pure technical play, and I do agree, and I with what I just said, because I'm saying it is that it's purely technical. The market is only running technicals, and I think that's the reason why I've been so crazy, because I look at the technical and I'm only human, right? I say, hey, this could bounce, oh my god, all the way up to 2,700, right? I can say this, but when we're at 2,000, that's a big run up, right? So I would say, like maybe it can't. Maybe it just has a short little bounce and it dies afterwards. But this is playing so beautifully technically, it's actually frustrating me as because in the end, I'm only human, and I've been off this long-term investment kind of mindset. And so what I'm thinking is my trend is my friend, right? The trend is down. There's no doubt in my mind the trend is down, right? I'm looking at the relative strengths of SPY, QQQ, a DIA, and all I'm seeing is that Amazon was the one rescuing, and Netflix and these other large cap tech stocks were the ones rescuing equities. It doesn't matter if it's the Dow, the SP 500, or the Nasdaq. You bring one of those suckers up, the rest are going to follow. You can see in the last few days, IWM is small caps. Russell, it's the Russell 2000 pretty much, and you can see the small caps today are not doing well. And I'll go small caps real quick, right? And here's my chart of small caps. I have not changed this, right? In the last few days, large caps was definitely outperforming short caps. Short caps are getting battered, right? I charted this one, 3-4 days ago, last week, right, or something like that. Right, I think someone was shorting IWM. I'm saying like, hey, it's making this beautiful bear flag. And look, IWM is trading perfectly to what a bear would want to see, right? A bear, this is what I see, right? It drops here and then it retraces. If it retraced 50%, it would have gone to 134. But we didn't go to 134. We went to 125. And that's where I thought that SPY and QQQ were going to run to. Somewhere close to the 50%, but not necessarily. This one's actually quite low, 135. I would have thought it ran up a little bit more to 132 or around there or something like that, or 130, just because I like the even numbers. But you can see IWM has no firepower. So what does that mean? So a lot of reasons why earnings go up is because of global trade. It's not just, in America we sell to, our own people. Our retail sales are down. Our e-commerce sales, I have no idea, right? But it's across the world, right? iPhones are used in Europe, used in Asia, right? They're used all over the world. And Amazon, you saw like something, France stopped Amazon from operating today. So you can see the global presence of these companies. And for Netflix, again, these are Netflix, Amazon, those are stocks everyone knows, right? They're large caps, everyone uses the product, is familiar with the product, it's a great product. And that's why they go up, it's the FOMO. Those are unshortable stocks. That's why I would never, given a bull market and you think something bad's gonna happen, ever short a large cap stock. Because that's, in my opinion, suicide, because unless you're doing the intraday trade, if you're trying to do ERs or different, it's just not worth the time. You might as well just throw in long and watch it grow, in my opinion, for those large cap stocks. But what happens when Amazon, right? let's go back to large caps. So we looked at low caps. Now let's go to large caps. And let me check the time real quick. 12:07. So I just want to make, so 12:30 is when the margin call comes in, and 12:45, 12:50 is when the funds rebalance. So that's why we'll see some extreme price movement. And I've already seen here, and back to the large cap Amazon, and a significant, and the day's not done yet, a significant volume upshoot today, right? So if we look at volume today, we still have an hour, more than an hour. We can see the volume has been inclining, right? When we dropped in March, volume, was at extreme lows, highs during the lows of the accumulation until it's brought up here. So right now we gotta think: do we now chop? Right, for Amazon, is it 2200 to 2400? Is that the chop zone, or does this essentially capitulate? Because we all have to remember that earnings report is next week, and this is what Wall Street does. It ramps something up and then drops it and moves on to the next one, right? So when we're at the lows in March, around here, right? And I'll just use Amazon as an example, right? They said, bailout money, blah blah blah, right? And then you see stocks like Boeing, MetLife, even some of the the airlines, they all popped, right? It brought the Dow Jones up. Dow Jones dragged everything up, right? And then and then Boeing faded hard, right? Boeing and all those stocks faded hard after they popped like 100%. And then what was the next one? Trump tweets, Trump tweets like, oh, 10 million barrels cut, blah blah blah. Boom, shot that up. What happened to XLE? XLE shot up. Brought up SP 500. SP 500 brought up DIA, brought up QQQ, right? Brought up on the NASDAQ and the Dow Jones. It's a rinse and repeat kind of action. What did they do when they released this SBA loans last week, right? They popped up JP Morgan Chase, brought up XLF, brought up JP Morgan Chase, what was it, 6-7% in one day? And then boom, during the ER, slammed it. Everyone knew JP Morgan Chase was going to have a bad ER. No one would say in close to negative rate territory with everything going on, you would say JP Morgan Chase is going to have a blowout ER, and it's only going to get worse from there. That's the thing. Wells Fargo, you saw that Goldman Sachs, BlackRock, and Morgan Stanley all performed well trading, right? Because it was all honestly one of the easiest things to see, right? If you paid attention to news and global news, you would see this virus, and you had half a brain, you would see this virus would cause more than a little bit of damage. So that to me was the cue, right, to go along. And also, election year. Election year was simply a reason why when I saw the market pop in January too, it's not supposed to do that. It's supposed to sell off to December, pop in January, right? But instead it just bowled through December, if I remember correctly. But anyways, that doesn't matter. What matters is what Amazon will do next. So let's go at the intraday price at 15-minute intervals. I see a bull flag forming here, but it's been broken down, right? What happened? Right? So we're entering the last few minutes. So the last few of the buyers are going to step in, and probably most people will close positions. And because the price went up, I can either assume one thing. I can assume shorts bail out, price goes higher. Like yesterday, or like the day before yesterday on Amazon, right? Back over here. Or I can assume it was just a trade and the price goes back down, right? There's two things. Price goes up, right? There's only two options. In my opinion, there are no bears left on Amazon. If you were bearish on Amazon, you have probably hedged your ass 100%. There's no one holding a short Amazon if it blows up like this on a large cap. So right now, either new bears are entering, new positions are being set, or something's happening because stocks, these large caps, are trading like penny stocks. Right? Tesla doesn't, Tesla's a car maker, battery supplier, right? It should not trade like this. This is Tesla right here. This is my chart for Tesla. Right? Tesla ripped in December, January. That's a sign of a troubled economy, markets. When large caps, when people have too much money to throw around and decides to, buy a significant amount of Tesla on no news or merely just hype and FOMO, right? You can say that there's, as a technical analyst, I can go ahead and say this move was coming. But in reality, it makes no sense because it's a pent-up move. The pent-up move, right, through the last few years, Tesla was trading between what was like 400 and below 400, above 200, right, for the last few years. So to me, that was quailing. That means there was not enough sellers to push this higher, but there was not enough buyers, and all it took was some FOMO to short squeeze and push it up higher. Right? That's all that happened in Tesla. Nothing changed about this company really overnight. Nothing changed in the last 2 months. We all know what they're doing. Maybe they sold more cars. Maybe they made more money. Right? Who cares? Who gives a shit? Right? You can always say projection. One point, you can project anything. Right? That's why you get a group of targets, because like you can project anything you want. Right? All that matters is what happens with the stock. Right? Because no one really cares. Oh shit. Am I talking and there's no sound? That's bad.
Yeah, there is sound. There is sound. Don't worry.
Yo, is there no sound on the video?
I can hear you. There is a sound.
No, for the people on the YouTube.
YouTube has a sound too.
Okay. Oh my god.
I can hear you.
I thought I was going on a monologue and no one was hearing because I'm on a roll.
No. Don't worry, man. What happened? I thought I was up.
Okay. All right. Technical difficulties. My internet went out. So, and now I don't know what's going on here. Okay, we're back. We're good. We are back. Alright, so you guys can hear me good. Let me know if you guys can't hear me. You guys should totally hear me because I think... Let me just double check. Yes, you should hear me. Okay. So,
I hear you.
Signs of a dying market. Right, SPY... We're coming... Okay. Let me use my mouse. Sorry about that, guys. I'm like freaking out because my internet collapsed and I need to reopen literally everything, including my console. And my trading platform. You guys should... This shit is scary, you know?
Yeah, I bet.
So, this is SPY here on the close. It's going down a little bit, but anyway, so when the price goes up and down for things like Tesla, that for me, large caps should not be doing that. That's a sign of a very distressed kind of market where people don't know where to put their money. Essentially, that's it. You don't know where to put your money. I don't know if you ever met rich people before, but rich people literally have nothing to do but buy things they don't need, right? So you can kind of say, hey, Tesla trading at 900 is buying something you totally might not need. And it's simple as that. Anyways, margin call should be coming up soon. I want to go to the SPY and I want to go to VIX. So I've noticed when SPY bulled up earlier today, VIX was actually up 2%. So I've been noticing around 40 to 43. And just slightly 39 to 40. Let's just take the range 39 to 43, like this 10% range of VIX. I've noticed an extreme I've noticed that the price wants to settle there. VIX is not going below that 40, and whenever it did go below 40 in the last few days, it wanted to come straight back up. Right? We were only below 40 for one trading day, pretty much. 1 or 2 trading days. And we're holding constant, even though we're going through some serious chop, right? Serious chop should essentially kill VIX, right? This chop where the price is not moving, that's not volatility. When the price doesn't move, that's not volatility. So we see VIX still holding here along with SPY. So I think there's a lot of VIX buyers here. I think what's going on are people are hedging. Institutionals are hedging because this is not something. And last week, the reason why I first went to VIX was because of the 50 cent trader, which is this entity or whatever that buys VIX calls for 50 cents at a specific price, right? It's because it's an institutional hedge. They think they're giving away, they're essentially spending millions of dollars, millions upon millions to buy a lottery ticket that's probably not going to work out, right? Because options is something like, it's probably not going to happen, but I might take the insurance on it in case it's something does, right? So someone bought that ticket last week, and I think a lot of traders are now following the VIX now. I've seen more. I think VIX under the around this 43 to 39 area is a hardcore buy, because you and I both know what VIX can do. VIX can run very hard if we have another down day, and I think that we will. Was because the Fed has already stopped a lot of their operations. They have moved on to new operations, right? They're like, this is satisfactory. We're moving on to the next one. They're cycling just like everyone else is cycling. Again, back to their reference with Boeing and all those other companies. So I think that the only reason is that Amazon, as a freak of nature, Amazon decides to break out higher and higher, and because of technicals, right? If we didn't have TradingView or our own stock brokers, and the only thing left was Bloomberg, right? A very small, limited people would be privy to the stock price movement. But this is the modern era where it's all computer traded. There's no subjective analysis here, right? So what is a subjective analysis? Is one that's to your emotions, right? I can say I like McDonald's. McDonald's is going up in price because look at their sales increasing. And then someone else can say, but I don't like McDonald's. I don't like their food. I see their sales increasing, but they're going into the wrong sectors. But it's only increasing from breakfast, and they're losing sales from their the core business hamburgers, right? So it's like there's two edges to every side of the story, in my opinion. And for Amazon, I think Amazon is a great stock. I don't even care what price it is. Amazon at 3,000, Amazon at 4,000, Amazon at 1,000, Amazon 500. Why do I think it's a great price? It's a well-loved stock. Everyone uses it, right? It's not like GE, right? GE once upon a time was one of the most powerful stocks. Now complete garbage. JCPenney, right? These are all recognizable stocks, but no one uses them. No one's familiar with them anymore, right? Dead stocks. That's why when people ask me, what are you going to buy? What are you going to buy, E? I always go Snapchat and Uber, right? Two of the worst companies you can probably buy, right? So that's why, because everyone uses companies, and that's the same reason why I recommend Uber as along. If you're holding for 8 years, Uber is along, no doubt. It's gonna be a winner like Netflix, no doubt. We gotta give it time. And if things like Airbnb too, I think Airbnb is a winner, no doubt. 8 years, give it time. It's gonna be a winner like Netflix or Apple, right? Big names. If strong movements, it may not even make sense, but the price will go up because of technicals. If it forms a flag and people are not selling, eventually it'll go up. Just like Amazon. Amazon had to coil for 2 years before making this movement, right? So if you were Amazon long looking for this breakout, you had to wait 2 years, all of 2019 and pretty much 2018 too as well, right? 2018, we entered into this range, right? And then finally in 2021, we popped pretty hard. And look, guys, it's selling off. So we're getting closer to the end of the day. We're selling off. This is a short squeeze. This is 100% a short squeeze on Amazon, right? I said it wasn't a short squeeze earlier, but it wants to go where it goes. And bears so happen to be squeezed and have to close, right? The price was going to go here whether or not the bears were to short or not. It's destined. The bears just made it help it go up a little bit faster, I think, because I think this is one of those things that are like, you see Amazon go up 6%, you're like, let's revert that to the mean, right? You can even apply the 3-day rule here. 1, 2, 3. It ran for 4 days, right? I would have been fucked if actually I did get fucked. QQQ went up. So in that relationship, yeah. So like rescuing the market here, I think is let me just refresh this real quick. Okay, so yeah, so oil. So Leo asked just now, what about oil? And Leo, let me just you want to activate your mic right now so I can hear I can hear you.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. We're good.
Yeah, I'm here.
We're good.
And also take a look at the picture I've posted, the profile, volume profile analysis in there indicator,
Okay,
which
so
is
we
10
have.
years, 10 years.
Okay, so I'm gonna I'm gonna display that. Thank you for that. I'm gonna display that here. Bear with me, guys. I'm gonna throw something on the screen. All right. So we have volume profile here. So this is SPX, right? You notice there's 2 points of high profile, one at the lows, one at our current highs, right? This essentially says these are two control points. Prices move fast between the two volumes. So essentially that's a range, Theo. The big bar on the top and the big bar on the bottom. That's the price ping, top and lows. So you can theoretically say 2100 would be 2100 would be first target if we were to go back down. If it wasn't ping pong, right? Ping pong up and down.
Yeah. Yeah. The point is though, the level which we are now, very big volume right now.
Very big volume, yeah, because volume is the only thing that can push it down,
Yeah. Yeah. This
right?
is the thing.
It's a good thing. Yeah, it's a good thing. So we floated to higher volume. That's why I was very surprised because where we shorted, we were about to approach that volume, and we were already beginning to be into that volume. So when it popped again, I was very surprised because honestly, I thought it was much more. The market doesn't seem as bearish as it is to the naked eye, but you got to realize it's like a slingshot, right? So we slingshot back up. We're gonna slingshot just as fast back down. And honestly, the Fed, it has no power. This Fed will buy SPY. I'm gonna foreshadow here and say that the Fed is gonna buy SPY. I think 100%.
But before that, we're gonna see the low levels, 2100 ish. But before that, we're
Yeah. I mean, I hope so, right? That's my whole analysis. But anyways, QQQ. That's and the thing is, it's like, oh, we're about to hit 12:30 here. Is that I can say all this stuff, but if I'm not correct, right, it sucks because look, first of all, you're losing money because it's investing. Well, at this point we're trading. We're not even investing. At no point of the last 2 months was I ever investing. Right? If I'm right, I was trading this whole time. So I'm actually very disappointed I wasn't able to quote unquote invest when we're at the lows, right? Because I thought the new lows that obviously there was going to be a bounce and obviously the thing, the V thing. I never believe in V-shaped recoveries, never. And
one more interesting fact. If we actually go down to 2100 area, it's going to be the Trump's old bull market, which is all wiped out.
yeah,
Take a look at that.
I mean that's what it is. So right now it's a Trump trade, right? It's literally the Trump trade. One, do we believe in Trump? Right, because Trump is politics. Politics influence the price. So let's go back to the fundamental. Let's shift gears. Technicals, I think we can go to 2100. So let's think of some things that could essentially support our theory of why the market can go down. So I'll throw out one theory, right? One theory why we could go down. Earnings reports, right? One thing we can do is earnings reports don't get better. Two, we can't go outside ever. No one can go outside. Jobs are lost permanently. Right? One and two, earnings reports will never get better. Two, people won't get their jobs back. Should put enough certainty into NASDAQ that's not back to the 2020 levels. But for some fucking reason, it is. So that's
Dude,
what I'm saying.
unemployment is going on every week at millions unemployed people.
Hey, I honestly, I don't know. Like, it's just technical. At this point, the market's like a machine. It doesn't care. It doesn't care. A machine doesn't care. And to be honest with you, like this might sound like me being an asshole, but people that have money in the stock market are probably not the ones losing their jobs.
No, they're not.
Like,
No, they're not.
no,
No,
they're
they're
not.
not.
Right? They're the
They're the
80%
one
still
who's
employed.
earning money.
Right? Like, I hate to say it like that, but it's more than obvious the stock market is supporting the middle class while the lower class gets, the a payout that seems nice and this other stuff, but in reality doesn't really do anything, right? Everyone's got to be spending money here. It's not like, middle class to wealthy people are just essentially buying the dip and going back into the market, right? If you guys read that report that I had about the investor sentiment 1 month ago, essentially said only 15% of Main Street investors sold out during the crash. Only 15%, and upwards of 40% or more were watching the news more on a daily basis for their investments. So you can see kind of, and it's also the fact that everyone's working at home too, right? We've never had a point where everyone's working at home. Usually everyone just looks at their stocks, right? Like, I'm taking the average person that has invested in stocks. Buy a few shares of Apple, Facebook, SPY, right? And then you have some random penny stocks or whatever, some random risky ones, right? That's kind of your portfolio, and that's for a younger generation. Even for the older generation, it's probably just boring. Mutual funds, whatever, high growth fund, right, or some shit like that. Well, those people are probably watching the news every day now, right? Like, it's almost impossible to ignore your portfolio almost going to half and then seeing the price go back up, and then you urgently wanted to buy in because you think you're smart, right? Because everyone thinks they're smart, they're getting a great price. And that's what the guy from, I think, Goldman Sachs says. Maybe one day the people that bought right now will look back and say, huh, that's so easy. And it could have been that easy, right? It could be that easy. It could have been so easy. I just had to buy and that was it. Just wait 1 month, buy, and we're at new highs. It was that easy. It could eventually end up being like that too. But I don't think so. I personally do not fucking think we're gonna hit a new high while this whole shit is going on. I personally still believe, I'm a man of science, right? I thought the coronavirus was gonna do very big damage, and it has. Right? It has. The question is, let's go to SPY. SPY bulling up here in the day, almost to its opening. SPY stuck. If you look at SPY and DIA compared to QQQ, these guys are in it's in a distribution pattern. It's not going up, it's not going down. And the buys on VIX are coming. I don't even know how, the weekend close, the option expirations. I don't even know what's going to do, honestly. I'm like, my mind has been literally twisted and torn, and all I'm looking at is where can the numbers show me where it could go. And right now the numbers showing for NASDAQ showing it could go higher, right? It could go higher. It can definitely go higher in NASDAQ, but I want to wait for the weekly. And the thing is, if I look at the NASDAQ alone, I think it can go higher. But if I look at the underlying ones that are pushing up, like Netflix and Amazon, I can't see them going higher, right? So I think these heavyweights, high caps, that's been essentially pushing us through this week, and essentially keeping us unchanged / slightly positive. Only reason is tech, and tech will have its moment next week. So we'll see what happens. They're having layoffs, furloughs, trouble in earnings, how much money they're borrowing, and right, XLE, XLF are already dead. We just gotta see if QQQ wants to, go down with it. It's just a waiting game at this point, because again, you don't have to be shorting here. You don't have to be longing VIX. You don't have to be betting on volatility. You can essentially just wait 6 months, see where it goes. Right? In 6 months, could we be at 4K SPY? Very possible. Could we be at 1K SPY? Also very possible. Right? Again, shorting is very dangerous because you're going against everything. When you short, you're fighting the Fed, the U.S. government, pretty much everyone's 401k. That's what happens when you short. And that's the danger you're taking. Remember, shorting was only legal for less than 12 years, less than 2 decades. Right? So, but Amazon deserves to get its ass shorted today. Not gonna lie, you can watch it the whole day. when it hit 2450, top of that channel, it deserves to get its ass shorted. It should not be up there, in my opinion. And we have traded so tight here. The last closing 30 minutes, I think anything can happen. I think anything can actually happen in this next 30 minutes. Usually I say something like, oh, the price will probably be pinned. It's not going to move up. It's probably just reverse to opening. I don't know, right? I don't know if day traders or are people just going to dump Amazon at the end of the day or Netflix at the end of the day. I don't know because it's been going up. Right? So is it going to be a pop back up? Are we going to continue this megaphone? Right? So this is a megaphone pattern. Classic display. Megaphone means higher highs, higher lows, but not really. It's just the range is growing a little bit bigger, right? It's not like a triangle or a flag. It's a megaphone. And megaphones are highly unpredictable. They're a non-usable pattern. So this is Netflix, guys. My question is, do we dump Netflix? Like, for example, how long can this go? How long can Netflix go like this? I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know how Netflix or Amazon wants to go, right? I think we've totally overblown a lot of the tops. A lot of even hedge funds or institutional traders would have thought was the top, and where they started coming in and positioning themselves for the next leg down, right? Any equities, they hedged themselves, essentially took a minor loss that has bounced back to even or green for them. They're probably dumping, right? Or they're accumulating a shitload more for the next leg up, right? It could be the same thing as the Donald Trump kind of rally, right? At first, like, Donald Trump's our president? Question mark? Like, this shit sucks, right? And then everyone's like, Donald Trump's our president. This shit's awesome, right? It literally happened within 12 hours. So, again, I personally believe in science. I do not think words and money injected into the stock market will work. I don't think words will convince people that this stock is worth this amount of money as soon as we see one or two more earnings reports. The question is, during that time, if this earnings season doesn't it brings prices down, what earnings seasons will, right? Q3, Q4, right? Q2, they can literally say, oh, it's so bad, we don't even, just ignore it. Just ignore it. But banks are about to break. SBA loans, no money for small to medium-sized businesses, right? They ran out. You got to request Congress for more, and Nancy Pelosi said no. So at least part of my analysis was right. I was correct that until after Easter, Fed's they're gonna want more stimulus, and Nancy's gonna say no, and they're gonna have one thing: corporations, stipulations, and more provisions for the USPS and hospitals. So we're ahead. And the thing is, do you think Nancy? This is the thing. Like, I don't know whether or not the Congress values the stocks, but the Democrats can maybe hit Trump the hardest by going after the stocks. But going after his stocks might make them look like villains. That's the only thing. Yeah, oil's trading below 20. Oil could save itself above 20 today. Could not save itself above 20 today. So Thomas, I completely agree with that. It's all a cycle, right? Last decade was the first decade where we never had an economic recession. The first decade in American history that we did not have a recession. So stimulus. Oh shit! I just spilled water wrong. I'm sorry. Stimulus money. Just making sure. Stimulus money. In my opinion, that's like an old trade. That's gone done. I mean, the Fed is already not doing anything really. Like, all the money the Fed needs to inject, provide the liquidity, That's most of that's done. Now they're just buying junk bonds, investment grade bonds. So I want to I would like Wall Street to force Fed to play their hand and make Fed buy SPY. That's what I would love to see. Because if once the Fed buys the SPY the first time they do it, they will never stop doing it. Does that make sense? Once you get the Fed addicted to the crack, it will continue to smoke the crack. Once the Fed gets to buy the SPY, it will continue to buy SPY because it will have no other way to get out of this fucking hole we dug us into. Right? Just like the Japanese. You gotta buy the SPY. Like, that's it. So we force the Fed this time to buy the SPY. We will then never have to go short again. Right? It's right, Leo?
Yeah, of course, but I don't want them to buy it now.
Yeah,
I want them to push it 2100 and then buy, like.
That's correct. So if I'm thinking, like, for example, BlackRock today is, I don't know if it's still up or not, but BlackRock actually was positive today because of how much they made on trading profits. And they're the ones that, they're very good at following the Fed. They're like lapdogs for the Fed. They'll do what the Fed says this, they'll go into on that trade alongside with the Fed. Right? They're not taking any shortcuts. Right? They're the ones selling us the VIX. So if you're buying VIX today, you can thank BlackRock for probably giving you those shares. Let's go back to SPY.
I don't think though the Fed will buy equities in these prices. I think they will push it SPY to downs or SPX to 200.
Yeah, I agree too.
They'll buy it.
I agree too. So when they say the Fed is going to buy the SPY, it doesn't mean they actually have already bought the SPY. It's they're considering of buying the SPY, right? So if I'm Wall Street, right, here I would be profit taking. Like if I bought the lows, I'm not that profit taking. I'm probably either resizing, reorganizing. But right here, if I'm given the circumstance of the coronavirus, I'm definitely probably not looking to go long. Right, I'm not looking for stocks to prick out. I think the risk is on the upside, not to the downside. Now, if no one decides to buy, once a FOMO evaporates, like people are just like done buying position, and the market is actually showing signs of weakness, right? The Wall Street's gonna take that and essentially dagger the market, because when Congress signs the bill, once again, that the Fed can buy SPY, it's all over. They'll continue to buy SPY. And the next time there's a recession, they'll buy SPY. And the next time they'll buy SPY as well. It'll just keep happening. It just won't stop. It's a chain reaction, right? That's the ultimate goal, I think, of Wall Street. That's like the ultimate goal. Decrease interest rates, make that shit negative, and then buy everything, right? Buy equities too, buy ETFs, right? Buy funds, buy all these different things to support us too. This way, that unlimited money only pushes the market higher and higher, and it literally won't be able to drop. It's like the final stage. It's literally like the final stage of the end game for money. Like the person the banker can, right? The banker will just I don't even know how to put it, right? It's like having Monopoly, right? And then you run out of real money, and then you just, write yourself more money. And then write yourself more money, and then lend your friends money, and then lend all your friends money, right? So, you got debt? I can just give you money. I can just write you this check. I'm the banker, right? There might not be any play money on the table, but I'll just get a piece of paper. We'll track it that way, right? Everyone can keep on playing, even though everyone's going to negative, and everyone will owe the banker, right? But in the end, the game is still playing, and everyone's still getting rich because you're just injecting more money in the system. So Fed is the end game. We haven't hit the end game. End game is the Fed buying the SPY. In order to achieve that, the market has to go lower. So if we want to do that, we can just do it right now. Like, I'm done waiting for this. It's been 2 weeks on this fucking dead cat bounce. Holy fuck. This is like the longest 2 weeks I've ever waited. But I think we're nearing to the point where I think everything might reverse. It's just that there's a lot of bear traps. There have been a lot of bear traps in this journey. 15 minutes left, guys. 15. I sound frustrated because I am. When you almost double your, what I was using to short, and then essentially lose it because you just keep on getting stopped out, stopped out. There's no position swing. I don't want this little day trade. I want to swing this next day, next day, next day, all the way back down to 21. Unfortunately, there is no opening. There was none. There hasn't been any. It's just the market's taking me out. It's trying to convince me to change my thought direction. But I know better. I think I know better. Either that, or I'm too stupid or ignorant. But we'll see. I'm just like, it's just like, once again, going to people buy stocks based on their real life. Well, my real life right now is staying home. So I can tell you right now, no earnings are being made right now. Nothing's getting made. I'm not making money. Who the fuck else is making money? I mean, unless you're trading, but I'm sure we all have different professional careers outside of being pure traders, right?
Hey, the SPX is making Head and Shoulders look.
It is making head and shoulders again. It tricked me the last time with a high volume. Hopefully it doesn't. Yeah, I see SPY. The only thing is that today we didn't make a new high and we didn't make a new low. Did you see that?
That was a total range.
Total range in SPY. And it's just so weird seeing so many
Next
gaps in SPY,
Dude,
But I do see your head and
like
shoulders here, right? Isn't this one? Is it intraday one?
yeah.
You
The
just
little
can't
one,
cross
yeah.
that.
Yeah, exactly.
So
How are
like,
you drawing? Where did you find the drawing thing?
or it could be this one, right? Should be one like this. This one's a little weirder one. The neckline's a little weird on that.
On SPX is more
Yeah, I'm looking at
visible.
SPY right now. That's why. I don't.
That's why
I
you
just have
have so
gaps.
many gaps, so that's why. SPY.
I mean, right now SPY looks like it's in a perfect 1 to 2% channel. 2% channel. All right, so we gotta see right here. I think the last 10 minutes are approaching. The volume here. I honestly, again, it's kind of drifting. It sold hard right off the bat. We have yet to hit the high of that day of today. So we'll see what happens here. And I'm gonna look at Amazon.
Amazon is gone.
It's crazy.
Crazy.
So again, guys, I think out of all these trades, if you really want to fucking gamble with your money, and I can say gamble right now, because VIX right now, it's a high risk for a very good reward. Now, all I'm saying, you can take a look for yourself. If it appears to you that we're bottoming on VIX, right? Even though the market's going higher, aka Nasdaq. Again,
Here comes the volume. And the volume's gone.
and the thing is, Amazon's like forming this bull flag, which I don't even get. But whatever, it's if it wants to rip up again tomorrow, then it wants to rip up again tomorrow. His earnings are next
The
week.
VIX is a better position. Dude, that. I need to make a note.
It's honestly like every equity is gonna become a growth. a growth stock in the future. And like this SPY's popping up here. It's gonna be new high being made in the next 9 minutes. I don't know.
Ooh, okay, something.
So yesterday I talked about the Nasdaq being on the island. Well, the price is still on the island, right? Although we made a new high today, it's still island. We never filled the gap to the downside. We never really pushed up much higher than the previous high, and it's just kind of floating out there. I'll go back to QQ. I'm gonna go to QQ real quick. Right? We still have this island, and honestly, think this was supposed to be the retracement, and then just because of the FOMO, we overblew. We overshot that by a lot. I definitely saw 200 in the works, 204, but to get here 213, that to me is fucking absolute nuts. Right, so let's see if QQQ wants to make a new high. It's broken out here on the 5 minute, and we only have 8 minutes left. So I'm whether or not, like, if they want to rip this, this is their time, right? There's gonna be a lack of liquidity here. So that's the only thing that worried me. No new low, QQQ, no new high. And the thing is, I wonder if these indexes will start to divert from each other, where IWM essentially just crashes to new lows and QQQ goes to all-time highs. I just don't know. But one thing I know for certain, I don't think that rally in Amazon is going to hold. I definitely do not think that's going to hold. See, this is
Yeah, Amazon is very expensive stock, man. It's very risky.
It's just and every morning it sells off, and then the dip buyers come in, they buy the dip and they blow it up. If the second wave bears come, it goes back down to that previous low and goes back up to the opening minute. Now, if that second pop doesn't come, or if that second drop doesn't come, it just rips throughout the day. That's what I've been observing. It's just like, I think one out, it doesn't matter. One out will buy on the dip, buy on the dip. Like, this would make sense to me if we were in the bull market. I just cannot justify it. Like, it's overblown. A lot of my bearish technicals that, like, theoretically we could be in the bull market again, but I just don't buy it. I can't buy this.
Too obvious, at least for us.
Like, I'd much rather buy real estate at elevated prices than buy this, because this, at least it'll go down and it's a piece of paper, electronic paper. But a house, if it goes down in value, I can just hold and touch it and burn it if I want to, right? Like, there's no, like, you guys want to buy QQQ at 214 and store it in your portfolio for the rest of your life? Or do you think it will ever come back down to like 200 or 180, right? So we got 5 minutes here. Thanks for that, Thomas. I'll take a look at that. So, again, guys, IWM. If it's not, let's go back to IWM in the last 5. See what it's doing. Oh, there's a bounce IWM, but it's still gonna finish negative. So maybe IWM bounces or it just completely breaks down. Or it goes sideways from here, but I don't see IWM being as bullish as the other ones at all. And let's look at the weekly before the last day. Look at that weekly, guys, for NASDAQ. Look at that weekly, guys. It's literally a V-shaped recovery. So take it for what it is. We still have 1 day for the week. We're well above my 206 kind of resistance here that I would say pretty much is bullish. Push up higher and higher each day. And the bears have no power. There's just no selling fear. There's no fear. If there's no fear. Oh wait, VIX is at 40, right? So there is fear. That's the thing. The VIX is still at fucking elevated levels. And that's the part I don't get, right? You have VIX trending so high, and VIX is an indicator. It's not like, oh, you know, the price of VIX is at 4, right? It's an indicator. Right? If the thing is, we're going up, and VIX is still. If VIX is 15, if VIX was 10, and we'd be making this moves, I'd be like, whatever. Any other day, any normal day, right? But we have VIX trending at around this 40 level for a week. It's like, you know, when you flip ahead, you know, 10 times in a row, right? If it hits on heads, it's volatility dying, and if it's hitting on tails, it's voluntarily increasing, right? At 40, you'll say calls and puts, they're all, you know, kind of messed up, right? How do we mess up calls and puts even more? By, you know, making the price move even faster, right? So you can say, so the prices automatically die down, but the fucking, but the VIX is still very elevated. That's why I don't get either. Very elevated, and there's almost no fear. No fear. Right? Does that make sense to you guys? Like, the VIX is very elevated, and there's no fear. And they say buy when people are scared. Well, I can't even go outside, so I'm kind of scared just for my mental health. So anyways, the market's gonna close. It's probably gonna close here. I don't imagine another green pop to come up here. We essentially just opened up where, actually no, we're closing a little higher than we were. For QQQ, that is. And we're closing at highs, which is very surprising.
Dude, there is a fear in the market. You can see the gold. Everyone is like buying up gold. The VIX is around 40. It's
gold is exploding to the upside.
Something is going down, man. Something's going down. We have to be careful. We have to be cautious.
I think gold is going to go to 1900. Easily.
Well, easily.
Well, not easily. I've had a 1900 target for a couple of years now.
Dude, the gold tells that there is a fear in the market. So,
at least the Asians.
Otherwise, yeah. Well, otherwise, it wouldn't shoot up that fast, would it?
No, it would not. But the market's closed here, guys. So this is a computer-generated line. I just want to go to Amazon real quick because I started with it. Amazon closed at 2408.19. So essentially, very bullish day for Amazon. Led the markets up, and even when Amazon collapsed a little bit, No, that didn't matter. All I needed was that one little push to push everything up. And essentially, it's like tomorrow. What's going to be tomorrow, guys? Is it going to be Amazon more? Is it going to be Netflix? Is it going to be Apple tomorrow? Who the fuck knows? They're just cycling, right? So until they can't cycle no more, this market's going to drop. Until they can't cycle no more. I unfortunately don't have unlimited funds to just squeeze Amazon or put out news articles to say buy this, buy that. But I know what they're doing. It's very fancy, it's very intricate, and it's working. It's very honestly, I would love to be on their side and know when this is going to be coordinated. Like, it would be awesome to go into a meeting with Trump and Trump's like, buy now. This is the target set here. This is where we're going, right? We're going to soften the cushion, right? That's literally what they told the hedge fund managers. That's literally what told it. So it's like almost automatically win, right? We don't have the information. We can't trade like that. All I can say is that possibly Amazon's exhausted, and it won't have, and Nasdaq won't move the way it is. But then again, it completely negated a very bearish candle, right? This was possibly a very bearish candle, and it turned out to be they could have brought the price down so it closed below this line, and maybe brought it down to make it look like more of a shooting star, but it didn't. So Amazon again, we can easily see Amazon just literally crawling up here to 250 and just crawl around this area for multiple days, multiple months, and we can just be elevated in price until the ERs come. It's simple as that. Very annoying, but it's simple as that. But anyways, guys, I only have one open position right now, and that's along on VIX. And it's a very risky position. I don't even like the correlations are so messed up. I don't even want to short Dow or watching QQQ go up or short QQQ or whatever and do this. And then all of a sudden they're pushing up the Dow today for some reason. I'm just gonna keep it simple, stupid. And SPY is what I'll be looking more at in the future. And I'll be definitely looking at the VIX more. I think there's a power play here in the VIX. When I say power play, I'm saying like this is a play where it can have big returns just based on a 1 day pop, and it would just be a 1 day pop, and we're done with this, right? I think there is a volatility pop somewhere in the future. I don't think volatility is gonna be slayed all the way down back to the single digits from 40. It's been slayed from the 80s, 90s to all the way down to where we are now, 50%. It's at the low end of that one daily candle dip. There are multiple reasons why I think it should be because of the uncertainness, right? May 1st is coming up. We already had the New York City governor, Cuomo, who lengthened the stay-at-home order to May 15th. And the New Jersey governor did that too as well, to my knowledge. So a lot of different factors out there. But in terms of technical analysis, Amazon has moved up towards the top of the range. How long it'll stay up at the top of the range, and if it does or does not reverse, that's merely up to the market makers. Right now, I can say 2450 is around where Amazon is probably comfortable at a high side. I don't think that if we get another 6% tomorrow on Amazon, that would very surprise me. Let me put that straight. If we go up tomorrow, it would not surprise me. If we go up 6% tomorrow, very surprised. So that's it for today. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 3 o'clock again, 3 p.m. Hopefully, we see something happen other than sell in the morning, buy at lunch, right? Again, sell in the morning, buy at lunch. It's the same thing over and over again. It's just the bull market algo is running daily. And honestly, if you want to trade like that, more than welcome to. But I'm looking for a bigger swing here. So thank you guys for tuning in today. If you liked today's video, please shoot me a like. Please hit subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Later.
Hey man. Eat. Hey, eat.